So this question is now asking you to design an experiment. So some of the things you need to remember when designing an experiment. So I'm going to put down our remember. 1, only test one variable. 2, remember independent and dependent variables. And 3, remember a control. Okay, so we're only going to test one variable. So in this case, the lab says that the atrazine itself is causing developmental defects. So it's a direct relationship. The atrazine in the water is interrupting development. Okay, so to test this, what are we going to do? Well, let's remember a control first. So let's say our control group, we're going to have a bucket of frogs, a fish tank of frogs that doesn't have any atrazine at all. So control tank with no atrazine, right? And then our test is a tank where we're going to add atrazine. Now, we can add atrazine in various levels. So we might have 4 tanks, right? And we might do a little bit in each one. So 1 milligram, and then 10 milligrams, and then 20 milligrams, and then 100 milligrams, or whatever. Okay? And so then we have to say, okay, well, what are we manipulating? What do we manipulate? Well, in this case, we're manipulating the amount of atrazine. And so that becomes your independent variable. So what you are, hold on, I can't type and do this at the same time. What you are manipulating is your independent variable. Okay, so then what are we going to measure? What are we going to measure to see if there's any effect of this? So in this case, we're going to count how many birth defects, right? Count birth defects. So what you measure becomes your dependent variable because it's dependent upon what you're doing with the independent variable. Okay, so we'll just set up these 5 tanks. 1 control tank that has no atrazine, 4 tanks that have varying levels of atrazine, and then we're going to count how many birth defects we see. And we should predict that if it really is the atrazine that's causing the birth defects, then the more atrazine we have, the more birth defects we're going to see.